Hi everyone, it's Kute here. There's a few thoughts I've just been marinating on in my head, and been talking to a lot of people recently, a lot of dear friends who have been in relationships, and they've been calling me up wanting some advice, wanting some thoughts, wanting some counsel. And I've been thinking that true love is really a death. That's right, you heard me rightly. I said true love is actually a death. And I believe that's why for many people, that's why it's so scary. You might be thinking, well, what do you mean by death? I really feel like when you fall in love, what needs to die is the ego. When you fall in love, what actually needs to be released and let go of is the egoic sense of separation. The illusion of separation needs to be surrendered as you dissolve, as you allow parts of yourself to dissolve and really let go. And I feel as though that's why for a lot of people, falling in love is actually quite scary, especially for a lot of guys, but just people in general. To fall in love is to let go of this protective, separate sense of self and really open oneself beyond oneself to someone else or to what seems like someone else. But it's actually a death of one's apparent sense of separation. And I've been talking to a lot of people recently who have been having kind of issues with commitment. And, you know, oh my God, I'm afraid, I'm in love. I've wanted to be in love my whole life, and I've met the woman of my dreams, and I'm in love, ah! And they run away, like they just bolt. They go deeper and deeper and deeper. And the fear is, oh my God, I'm losing myself. But what I found is, when people say I'm losing myself, the self that you're actually losing is not really you. The self that gets lost really in relationship, in true love, is the sense of separation, is the sense of who you thought you were. Because, you know, ultimately love brings up everything unlike itself to be released and to be healed. So when people often say I'm losing myself, which self is that you're losing? That's the consideration, I think, that needs to be thought about. So when people get into a relationship and consider being in a committed relationship, I feel it's really important to consider what the commitment really is. We often think the commitment is to the other person, to a human being, a form, and obviously every human being is imperfect. And I really believe that no human being, no matter how incredible, no matter how amazing, can ultimately fulfill you. No human being, man, woman, dog, cat, tree, no human being, no person that you're ever going to be in a relationship can give you everything you truly want and can fulfill your every desire. They can do an amazing job. They can love you. You can feel amazing. You can feel fulfilled. But I believe that fulfillment comes as a result of you knowing who you are, and that fulfillment comes as a result of you already being fulfilled within yourself. Then when you come together in a sacred partnership or a relationship, you're not seeking anything, but you're actually coming together to share your already fulfilled self with that person as an overflow of your heart, rather than trying to get something, rather than trying to seek something out there. So the real commitment that I want you to ponder when you're in relationship with someone is not to a person, is not to an ego, is not to a personality. And I think that's what really freaks us out, because so often relationships are actually ego to ego. Two egos rubbing up against each other. Two egos in a power play. Two egos kind of in this separation, you know, merging separation fight together, and it's scary and it's suffering when two egos are constantly relating together. The real commitment, I believe, in sacred partnership, in relationship, really is to the divine, is to the infinite, is to the infinite intelligence. The real commitment is to the divine within your lover, the divine, the life force energy, to God, whatever you want to call it, the infinite creator that is living and breathing you and your partner. Because at that level, you're already one, and at that level, you're both already intimately and infinitely connected. At that level, there is no you. At that level, there is no other. There is no one else. There is not two. There's just oneness. So what you're actually committing to and serving and loving and worshiping and relating to is the infinite within your lover, within your partner, not just a physical form. When you relate to a physical forms are imperfect. Egos, physical forms are constantly fighting, they're constantly imperfect, will let you down. Holding on without patterns, without contractions. If you're just holding on to that, if you're just committing to that, then often relationship is suffering, relationship is pain, and relationship can sometimes feel like a prison. But if you can remember that, to allow your commitment to be to the infinite, to allow your commitment to be to the divine within your lover, within your partner, then what you're truly serving and what you're truly surrendering to is not a limited person, a limited individual, a limited form. What you're really surrendering to is the infinite that's residing as the both of you. In that moment, there is a dissolving, there is a oneness, there's no more two, there's just one, playing itself out through the form and the dance of relationship. Then your lover, then your partner, actually becomes a portal for you to go deeper into your connection with yourself and into the connection with the divine, with what's infinite. Then from that place, when you relate from that place and when you're in relationship from that perspective and that understanding, commitment becomes much easier. Surrender starts happening. From that place in relationship, you're actually free. Then you're free in relationship rather than kind of needing to get out of relationship. There's actually nothing to commit to. There's just surrender that's happening moment to moment to moment as one of you. When you know who you are, that really what you are is infinite, that what you are is not just this limited form, what you are is not just this limited body, what you are is not your mind, your thoughts, your limited ego. When you really realize and recognize what you are truly as an experience, not as an intellectual understanding, then you know who your lover is. Then you know who your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your partner truly is. And you don't then simply relate to him or her just as a body anymore. You recognize the infinity in yourself, the infinity that he or she is. And from that recognition, relationship itself becomes an infinite dance, an infinite play of greater expansion, greater freedom, greater self-expression. When you realize your own infinite nature, you realize that ultimately you're free. You are freedom itself. Your freedom is no longer dependent on being in relationship or not being in relationship, committing or not committing. You already are freedom. And in that recognition of your own nature as freedom, something beautiful happens. You realize that freedom is love, and love is freedom, and they're actually one and the same. And the freer you become, the more it opens you, the more it frees you to love. And the more you love, the freer you become.